Hello, everybody. I'm so glad that this moment is finally here. I'm waiting on a lot of you ladies to join in tonight for the SheEO Social Week. Every week we have something different. We have Business Week, we have Wealth Week, we have Health Week, and this is Social Week. And I am really believing that you all are going to really enjoy what tonight has to bring. So get your friends, get everybody to share, get everybody to log in and get somewhere quiet, get the kids set up because you ladies and some gentlemen will not want to miss these two phenomenal beauty queens that we have coming on tonight for Social Week within the SheEO district. So I am truly hoping that everyone will enjoy tonight. And we're just going to give it a little time and get started. And then I'm going to bring forth these beautiful ladies. And actually, guys, while we're kind of waiting, I want to log in and get this shared to my page as well so that we can have more audience that's going to be on with us this evening. So I'm going to share this to my page right now and hope I don't get an echo back operating my phone and the screen. So we're going to have a little fun here tonight. You ladies are going to learn something that you may or may not have already known, but trust and believe this information is going to come forth tonight from what these ladies have. You are not going to want to miss it. You are going to want to share it with somebody. And you know what? We always want to tell something, but if a person really doesn't hear it firsthand, we don't quite deliver the message the same way. So if I was you, I would share, 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 and click like, click share, and get some people on here right now so that you ladies will have something more to talk about later in reference to tonight's Social Week Live with the ladies that I'll be introducing you to. And hello, everybody who's logged in already. Keisha Spencer, Sonia Perry. We have a Facebook user. Hello, my sister. Not quite sure who that is. But guys, listen, we wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for our beautiful visionologist, Kelly Bowens herself. Kelly had a vision to put together the SheEO district. It hails by way of Atlanta, Georgia. It will definitely be expanding. It is international already. So, ladies, 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 hi, Regina. This is going to be a beautiful, beautiful week. So, a beautiful night. And every day, tune in. You guys can log into the SheEO district community, be accepted into our community. We're having memberships, so you can definitely become a part of the SheEO district. And if you're doing something great in your life right now as an entrepreneur, then guess what? We want to have you too. So when you can definitely be on one of our panels on one of the speak weeks from one of the SheEO leaders. So definitely looking forward. And we're going to get started. Let's give it one more minute, ladies and gentlemen. For everybody who's logged in, we thank you so much for your patience. Again, get your pens, put the kids, make sure the kids got something to drink. Hi, Karen Campbell. Make sure your kids got something to eat. Make sure the house is quiet. Your cell phones are turned off on vibrate or mute because you're not going to want to miss this information. I am so excited. I had a little sneak peek behind the scenes with these two beautiful ladies. Them, myself, and Kelly Bowens, we were all like just having a little bit of fun, saying, "Oh my God, I can't wait till 8:30 come." Well, we know 8:30 is here. It's 8:36 actually, Eastern Standard Time. But guess what, guys? We about to get started. So this first young lady that I'm gonna bring up, this lady, Rita Brooks, she is the founder of Hidden and Found. This is a blog and platform that allows her to help women grow and remain grounded in their relationship with Christ as they prepare and position themselves for a godly marriage. She and her husband of 5 years are raising two amazing daughters, Isabella 4 and Eden 1. Together, they lead the singles ministry at their church in Atlanta, Georgia. While Rita thoroughly enjoys all of the assignments God has given her, her highest and most precious calling is that of being a daughter of the most highest God. Woo, I don't know about y'all, but just that bio right there is enough to just make me want to just say, all right, let's get it started. But before we do that, ladies, I also want to introduce one of her closest friends in business and all throughout the years. Her name is Maygen King. She is a career coach. Maygen King is known mostly for her ability to see hope in every situation. She is a driver and a pusher of purpose. She has over 10 years of experience working in human resources with a focus on recruiting. She is also a youth and young adult minister that is passionate about helping people get unstuck. Whoa, that's powerful. She has been married for 6 years with two beautiful children. Ladies and gentlemen, sit back, put your seatbelts on if you can. And right now, forth the two beautiful queens of the evening, Rita Brooks and Maygen King. Hi, ladies.
Hey.
Hi.
Thank you for those introductions. I am hype already.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely, Miss Rita. Rita, so tell us a little bit about yourself here on Social Week.
Yeah, well, like the bio said, I have a platform. It started off as a blog. It's called Hidden and Found, and really, it just was birthed out of my desire, because of my own personal journey as a single woman, being a Christian single woman, and all the things that I went through. And so, I wanted to, when I got married, I wanted to help other people, other singles. I know it's a tough season sometimes, depending on where you are. And so it really was birthed out of my desire to help other people. And so I do that. And now I get the privilege of, helping to lead the singles ministry at my church, where I actually met my husband. So it was like a 360 for us. And I'm just raising my two kids with him. And we're having, just living this life together that God has truly blessed us with.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, and Maygen, give us a little bit about you.
Yeah, so I am originally from Charleston, South Carolina. I just recently moved to Atlanta, Georgia. I've been married almost coming up on 7 years. Like Rita, I have two kids. Our kids are actually 7 months apart, each child. It's really weird. But I've been working within HR for about 10 years. And I'm literally starting up professionally my business, which is helping people get unstuck in corporate America. So for so many years, people would call me and be like, hey, can you do my resume? Or, hey, can you help me with interview skills? Or, hey, I got a job offer. Can you help me with salary negotiations? And it's just something that I love doing. I'm very passionate about. So that's me.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you ladies just a few questions, and I know you are ready. I know you are ready for this part. I know it.
Just
so
to let everybody know, we don't know any of the questions, so we are going into this
absolutely, absolutely.
Blinded.
So, yes,
unaware.
audience, no one knows. No one knows these questions. Okay, these are my questions that I wanted to ask. So. For Maygen, let's start with Maygen.
Yay.
So, Maygen, you are a career coach. And so, being a career coach, and in your bio, you stated that you are a driver and a pusher of purpose. And so that means you're always looking for the good, right? And so you're always looking to bring out the best in every situation and a person, right?
Yep.
So my question to you, so we know that this is an optimist in life, y'all.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
Did you always know that you wanted to specifically be a career coach? Like, what was your young adulthood like that drove you to be a career coach?
That's a good question. I think, like Rita said, I think it's birthed out of personal experience when I think about my own journey of getting into corporate America and just the different lessons that I've learned and just the things that I've seen. So I just feel like I'm front row. So I work directly with HR. I work directly with hiring managers. I see when people are leaving money on the table. I see when there is opportunities that people could be taking advantage of, but they just don't have the proper exposure. And so because I'm seeing these things, I'm like, yo, I got to help my people. Like, they need to know the truth of what's actually happening behind the scenes and what they should actually be asking for and what they should be doing to prepare themselves. And I love it. I absolutely love doing it. And it's just, I can't help it. You know what I mean? And everybody knows that about me. So a lot of times people be like, oh yeah, like just go to Maygen, you know, she'll help you. And I'm like, I always get annoyed with my husband because he's like, she can help everybody, but you know, it is specific to corporate America. And I've worked specifically in the life sciences industry.
Okay. So, and now Rita.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, yeah, what's going on? Rita, for you, let's talk about hidden and found. And can you explain the thought behind hidden and found?
Yeah, sure. So hidden and found, the tagline is actually hidden in him with a capital H and found by him with a little h. And the idea behind that is that as you hide yourself in him, big H, who is God, who is Christ, then that makes it so that you can be found by the one who your soul really desires, which is the little h, him, your husband. And so what I like to think about, even not even just when it comes to marriage and things like that, whenever you hide yourself in God, whenever you find yourself, your life, your true self in him, then I found personally, and the Bible even talks about this in Colossians 3:3, that's where you really find your true self. People are always out here talking about, how do I know who I am? You know what I'm saying? What's my purpose? What's my identity? What's this and what's that? Well, it's kind of oxymoronic to think that, I have to hide myself in someone else being God in order to find myself. But that's the truth of the matter. You won't ever find who you truly are. You won't really find the person who was actually for you until you really hide yourself in him, because you have to go through him to get those other things. So that is really a twofold meaning when it comes to hiding yourself in Christ to find your true life, and also for hiding yourself in Christ to find your husband, because that was my experience. So that's the idea behind hidden and found.
Oh my gosh, that is awesome. Wow, like to even come up with that and just to know, like,
wasn't me. I'm not that smart, okay?
It was the big H, him in you, right? Okay.
There you go.
Okay, so Rita, I want to stay right there just for a moment. If you guys see me looking down, I'm literally trying to share this to my Facebook page, and I can't get it to share. So that's why you catch me looking down.
Do your thing.
Okay. So Rita, I want to stay right here for a second. How do women receive this information as you are teaching it to them?
So I have a couple of different platforms. Like, how do I get the information to the women? You mean?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I have an Instagram page. That's really how it started. When I started the blog, I'm like, okay, I know I want to blog. I know I got a lot of things to say, but how do I get the people to the blog? You know what I'm saying? I didn't know much. I was literally going off of the inspiration of the Holy Spirit. So it started with an Instagram page. So it's at Hidden and Found. And then I have a blog. My blog is on my website, www.rita-brooks.com. And I also have a Facebook group, Hidden in the Ampersand Found. So those are the main ways. And I actually am releasing a book. This book has been a long time coming, y'all. But it's like a culmination of everything. Like, this is my baby. It's packed with a whole bunch of, it's just God breathed and a lot of wisdom. It's coming out next month, so I'm excited about that. But those are the ways that I disseminate the information. I also hold coaching programs and things like that, just to to get the information to as many people as I can.
People can say that they're passionate about something, but let me tell you, that passion is in your face. It's in your eyes. Like, that passion that you have for Hidden and Found. I'm telling you, if everybody watching this can see exactly, like, just your whole body language, and saying right now, hidden in town is exactly where you want to be at. So let me tell you, I'm embracing it. I love it. And as a single woman out here, I want to tell you that being hidden and found, a lot of times the struggle is hard. Okay. You want to wait on God. And then sometimes you just say, God, you're taking too long. You know,
I'm gonna do this myself. Get in trouble. That's how we get in trouble.
It's some single women out here that feel like that. We feel so, not just we just feel like it, because when you say I feel like something, that becomes real personal. And so, but when you know that you are a good woman, when you know that you are, you've been raised with a purpose and to be submissive, to a degree. A lot of women won't agree with that, because the word submissive can be really strong, but it can be taken out of context. But when you go back to the women who were born the 30s, 40s, and 50s, and how they treated their husbands, they were submissive to them. You know what I mean? And
For sure.
but it was according to the Bible. It was the obey part, that they want to take out now. When you get married, they want to take that off the vows. They like, I'm not obeying nobody.
It's a cuss word.
Okay, you wait till we get home. So I'm gonna switch gears just for a second. Rita, hang on right there, because we want to elaborate a little bit more on there. So Maygen, how did you get such a passion to help other people?
I don't know. I think it's something that is a part of my personality. Like, I just naturally like pushing people to be their full potential. Like, sometimes I think I can't even help it. You know what I mean? I'm just like, get out the boat, go, do what you got to do. Rita knows.
Oh yeah.
I just, you're not, people know when they come to me, I'm always going to push them to greatness. I'm always going to push them to believe the best. And I have a saying where I say, keep hope alive, keep hope alive. And it's just my personality. I love seeing people succeed. And I think that also ties to our friendship too, like in the beginning of our friendship, because I feel like when I met Rita, I just saw such greatness. Like, yo, girl,
the words out of my mouth. I'm so glad I was about to say, Maygen's being humble, but go ahead. I'm gonna tell my part of that. Go ahead.
But yeah, so I think sometimes people they can't see it. Like I mean, I struggle with that too. You don't really see your full potential, but you need somebody else to kind of show you and remind you of who you are and what you're called to, and remind you that it's possible, it can happen. So it's faith over fear.
So Maygen, I have to ask, so you have this very elegant, soft speaking voice. But so I'm just gonna say what I believe the audience is hearing, right? So when I look at you and you're just like such a diva, and then but as I read your bio, and your bio says specifically, but see, your bio was quite short. That tells me that you are to the point. Okay, that means that there's no whole frame of you're gonna get what I'm giving you. And so you said you're a driver and a pusher of purpose. And the reason I'm staying right there is because your voice, see, my voice is a little deep and heavy. I get in trouble with my voice sometimes. And I'm trying to have like a real straight face to let people know, like, I'm not being mean, I'm just being honest. But see, you got that, and I just try to tell people, and see, that right there lets me further know that you are very affirmative when it comes to driving and pushing people. You won't let people be stuck, because it seems like you have that about yourself. It's kind of like the nail on the head, like you are gonna do what I told you.
You are a great reader. That is,
if you don't do it, you're a class
right on the nail.
That's exactly her.
Somebody tagged me in a meme about that. Somebody beating some other friend upside their head. They tagged me in that.
I never met Maygen before tonight. Okay, I never met Maygen before tonight.
Wow.
So Maygen, I have to ask. So when you're helping other people, because a lot of times we don't like to be pushed, okay? And when we're pushed to a certain degree, one or two as Black women, we get an attitude and quit. We move
Yeah.
on to the next. And then two, it's you ain't my mama, okay? And so I don't have to respect you. But really, we're shortening ourselves, okay? And it just brings me back to this point of being in the SheEO district. These women will not let you be mediocre, okay? There has been once or twice I've just tried to just sit back and they won't let me. So I understand, Maygen, like the whole, see that face you got right now? You probably can't see it, but Rita see it. So that face right there says, you gonna do what I told you to do. So how do you have people that get rebellious when you're trying to help them out?
You froze a little bit. Can you ask the question again?
Do you have people to get rebellious when you are really pushing them?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All the time. All the time. They'll get quiet on me. They'll come back and say, you were right. And so it's one of those things where I have to be consistent and I have to not take it personal. I think that's like the biggest piece is like, it has nothing to do with me and it has everything to do with them and it's not personal. And I just have to remind myself that my voice matters and that they're listening. And I think a lot of times you wonder, like, are they listening? Like, are you hearing what I'm saying? Are you getting this? And I think sometimes when they go silent, it's actually a good thing because it gives them a chance to really think about it, a chance to really like sit back and see themselves. And so I allow that. And I just can't take it personal, but all the time. Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. We cannot take it personal. That's something that, listen, at 50 years old, I had to learn how to stop taking stuff personal because when I say stuff to people, I don't want them taking it personal. And a lot of times, it's just about the delivery and we do try to be better.
Yeah.
But, and I was just literally joking, but I was for real saying like, your voice is so sweet, but I know you got that fire behind you. So
Can I say something to that point of Maygen? Because I always call her like the Mordecai to my Esther. Like she's not lying when she said at the beginning of our friendship, like I was in like a really down bad season. Like it was a season where y'all see Rita today, it was just that I was not that person. Wow. And so Maygen was not, she saw this book before this book was a book. She saw this thing before. I saw none of it, but she saw it all. So I would literally be in my apartment by myself, just like depressed, like don't want to come out. She would show up to my house. She would not let me just be. Like she literally like just drove me. Like I always call her the Mordecai to my Esther. Like if it wasn't for Maygen, like God knew what he was doing when he said here about it. She will not take no for an answer, okay?
We are blessed with good people around us. So I'm going to come back to Rita. So Rita, earlier when I asked you how do women receive the information as you are teaching it, basically some of the questions I want to know are, do they doubt that it can happen to them? Like, okay, being single and then you're teaching hidden and found in the big age and the little age, how to respect God over your husband. See, I'm listening. Okay. So what I would like to know is, do you find that women doubt it, that they deserve it and that they are worth it and that they really, that the weight is a little excessive?
Yeah, I think you get people on different sides of the spectrum. You know what I'm saying? For some people, it gives them that hope that they do need. You know what I'm saying? It resonates with them, and they may have been in a spot where they did not feel worth it, or they did not feel like it's ever going to happen to them. Like I have people who will read blogs from years ago, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I was about to give up. I'm so glad I came across your blog," and it gives them this hope again. But there are people that I have, especially me being in the position that I am now. Like I'm married, right? Like I have the husband, I have the family. And so some people do feel like, I cannot really relate to what they're going through. And so they are kind of, apprehensive about the information, which I get, you know what I'm saying? Like if someone had something that I wanted and, they already got it, but they're still telling me, be patient, wait, do this, X, Y, Z. A part of me would be a little bit resentful and be like, okay, you don't really understand what I'm going through. But what I try to get people to understand is the reason why I do this is because I was there And so what better, person to take advice than a person who's not only has been there, but has gotten through there victoriously. You know what I'm saying? If I want to climb Mount Kilimanjaro, I'm not talk to somebody that done, who's doing it right now. I want somebody
Right.
who's climbed it and who's made it to the top, because they've been through the struggles, but they also can tell me how to do that successfully. So there are people who are a little bit resistant, a little bit hesitant, but you get people from all different spectrums. You know what I'm saying? And like Maygen said, you just gotta be consistent with it. And when I say things or when I write things, anything I post, I like to do it by inspiration of the Holy Spirit. I try not to insert my own self in there. I do use obviously my own personal stories and testimonies and things like that, but I post alongside God. And so I believe that if I do that, he knows how to get people. He knows how to make people understand and hear, and get them where it's really going to get their attention. So that's the idea that I come from.
Okay. So I almost sent the collection plate in.
That's a word. That's a word.
So Rita, so in Hidden and Found, and you may have touched on it, can you just elaborate a little bit? What does it mean for the woman to hide herself to be found?
That's a good question, because people would be like, well, why would I hide myself? I'm trying to be out here. I'm trying to be seen. I'm trying to get noticed. I'm trying to make them find me, It's a bit oxymoronic, I know. But what I mean is that sometimes, especially when we are desiring a husband, it's easy to kind of, go with the first person that shows up on our doorstep, or, stay with the person who we know has not been treating us the best. It's easy to, do all the things, to date different people, to, you know what I'm saying? But when I say hide yourself in God, I mean, go through him. Like, I remember when I was single, there was not one person who I, got myself involved with that God did not literally talk to me about, whether it was through a dream or, through, asking me a question, just like that still small voice, the lack of peace. Like, so we are to hide ourselves in God, meaning, ask him, approach him, get his opinion on things, like seek him first and then let everything else follow. Because sometimes we can idolize it. You know what I'm saying? We can get to a point where we're chasing the thing, we're chasing the husband, we're chasing XYZ, but God is like, no, I need you over here. Focus on me. And as you do that, then I'll be able to bring somebody to you. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean by hide yourself in him. I literally went through a season where I did not entertain anybody. I didn't take no numbers. I did not go on dates. And I'm not saying you have to do that. It was for a year in my case. And I'm not necessarily saying you have to do that. But what I'm saying is hide yourself in God, meaning hear what he has to say, because he knows you. He has a plan for your life. He knows who your husband is going to be. He knows if you're going to get married. You know what I'm saying? So why not go to him for those things as opposed to trying to do it yourself?
Yeah, and I made this joke earlier, and I said, sometimes God take too long. So we as women, again, we're strong-minded, right? And we come from a long line of, strong women and dominancy. So,
yes,
sometimes we want to help God along a little bit, Right? So for me, right? So let's just say, while I got y'all on the panel, I might as well use it, right? Y'all can pray for me later. But listen, so literally, so you get in that rut where you're like, okay, yeah, this is the guy, I love him. This is like the love of my life. This is my heart, my best friend, whatever. But it's something in you that just believes God is not going to let you get to the altar with this person, right? And then, so sometimes I have to say, God, I know my grandma used to say you a jealous guy, and I'm starting to believe that. But you gonna have to. So sometimes, so being a Christian myself, and I will be in church, but I'll never forget my pastor preached a sermon one day, and he said, you got to go to God like he your dad for real, like you ask him for something. So you get so Rita, do you find women get conflicted when they feel like they're asking God for a husband, but still and yet they say, shouldn't be asking God for a husband. Just work on yourself. You know what I mean? So it's like, and then, but you feel like, okay, God, I got degrees, more degrees than a thermometer. I got good job. I got good money. I got my own everything. What happened to the woman? Got her everything. Ain't that the woman that the man want? It don't always be like that. Because so many women, so many men, even in your most gentlest time, so many men find women too strong for them.
Yeah.
So
What
did you get when women come to you with, Rita, I just don't know what's going to happen to me in my life at the age of 50. Am I going to forever be alone? I know you can't answer that for real.
Right.
But I'm just saying, tonight, when you and Maygen finish up this panel, I'm just saying, why don't I just go to God and tell him to send me my husband? That's all I'm saying. So,
we got you, Mary. We got you.
Listen, we can intercede right now. No. But I think that it's wise to ask God to pray, if you want something. That's just, like you said, he's our father. As a matter of fact, I remember when Maygen got engaged. Boyfriend, I ain't had no prospects. I had nothing. And we were joined at the hip, like we're best friends. And so it was like, oh gosh, like what's gonna happen? I'm just left here by myself. And I kid you not. I went to God, like you said, like he's my father. I said, now God. We like sisters. You both of our father. And any good father is not gonna let one have no without the other. I kid you not. By that, she got engaged January 2013. I got engaged January 2014. I ain't had no prospects. I had no nothing. I don't know what was on that anointed prayer, but I was like, now God. Okay. No, but I think that, there's a number of reasons, everything in God's timing, right? There are some things that we have to get, going for ourselves, some things that we need to do in preparation. And then some things are just about the timing of God. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, we're supposed to be with somebody and, we did something. It's just a lot of different factors. So nobody can tell you exactly, why he hasn't come yet or why you haven't gotten married yet. But not only when it comes to a husband, the way that I just like to live my life is that I just like to live it surrendered to God. Like when I first gave myself to God for real, I was like, you know what? I've tried it my way. Just like everything. Just like I've tried it my way. Like, and clearly look where that has gotten me, Lord. And so whatever your will is for me, I want that. Because I know that's the safest place to be. That's where I'm going to have the most peace. That's where I'm going to be the happiest. That's where I'm going to be the most purposeful. You are God of the entire universe. You created me. So
absolutely.
Surely you know what's best for my life. Surely I do not. And so when I think that when I came to him like that, even when it's like, okay, I told God this, but I was like, even if I don't, and I was really serious when I said, I was like, even if I never get married, God, like you're enough, like you know best, you know what I'm saying? So I think when we come to God living a surrendered life and we say, I want what you want for me, then he can get us what we need. You know what I'm saying? What's meant for us will not pass us by. Live a life like that, as I truly believe.
Okay. And so, what are some of the things, Rita, that you have known single women to sacrifice to be married?
That's a good question. Remember, I was just talking about that peace. Yeah. Some people have sacrificed their peace. No.
Oh, God.
No. There's a lot of marriage is all about sacrifice. I think that when people go into it, they should go into it sober minded, because we always think, me. I want to be happy. I'm going to do this with my husband, and obviously it is about things like that. But it's all sacrificial. So I can't just get up and go somewhere without consulting a whole other human being. Now, you know what I'm saying? Me, Maygen and I have been living in the same neighborhood for almost 2 months now, almost 2 months now. We just got a weekend together, like Valentine's Day weekend. Like we just got a day together. It's just we don't think about all the sacrificial things that happens in a marriage, but you do. The Bible says your body is not your own. You know what I'm saying? So
that's right.
There's a lot of things that have to be sacrificed because you're supposed to prefer the other even over yourself. And so when both people are doing that, that's the way the marriage is supposed to work. But it's completely and totally sacrificial in every kind of way. It's a picture of Christ and his church. Like Christ, that's what he does. He sacrificed for us. So you got to sacrifice a lot.
Now, on the flip side of that question, right? So you
Mhm.
answered it in that way, like according to the Bible and what you should be doing, like according to marriage. So now, again, what are some of the things that you have known single women that sacrifice for marriage? So now I'm asking it in the aspect of, have you seen women that maybe they were headed in the direction of going to college or
Mm.
into another state, and then but somebody like, stay here, I want to marry you, and so they gave up their dream, gave up that journey, that path, that career path that we're about to talk to Maygen about. So have you literally worked with women who's been conflicted about, well, I'm single, but I want to be married so bad that I'm giving up this?
You know, the women that I that I work with, I think they're so happy about, moving to that next level that they don't mind the different commitments. I think probably the most serious one that I've seen, I've never seen like one that's had to move a career or anything like that. I have seen moving across cities and things like that, but probably moving churches, when you have to follow your husband to a whole different church, that's been challenging for some people. Yeah, that's really huge, where you get your covering and stuff from. And then another city, I have seen that as well. But I think that people are so fresh and so new. It's like, I love this person. They haven't been in the thick of everything yet to really say, okay, I am giving this up to this man.
Until they have that major argument.
Exactly.
I this for you. I didn't go to school for you. I didn't. Yeah. Bad lack of communication, right? So, all right. Well, we're going to come back to you, Rita. So, Maygen, now we talked about you, how you recruit and what is the passion of your recruit? What is your platform of recruiting?
So my focus, I feel like where I thrive the most is corporate America, because that's where I've been working for the last 10 years. So operations, business, HR, that's really like the thick of where I'm most passionate about. Recently, I've been doing a lot of focus on diversity and inclusion with early talent, people coming straight out of HBCUs. Because a lot of times, like when you graduate, you don't really know what you want to do. Like you have no idea. You probably went to school you just wasted all of this money for the wrong major. Yes. And so I love getting people in that early talent stage, because I like to say the word exposure. Sometimes you just don't know what you don't know. And so when you can be exposed to all these different options now, you can make better choices. So yeah.
And what are the earliest ages that you work with, like getting people on their career journey?
I would say recent grad, like fresh out of school. Yeah.
So now being a mother, so a mother of two, correct?
Yep. Under 4, 2 under 4.
2 under 4. Okay, great. So now, okay, so let's just say, so being an auntie, a mom, a cousin, big sister, best friend. And so when you see children headed in a certain direction, or that's just teenagers who are really just hormonal, testosterone crazy, don't know what they're doing, where they're going or whatever, what type of introduction conversation do you have with them regarding their career?
That's a good question. I think the important thing is to have a vision, like to know where you want to go, like what your passion is and what you enjoy doing. Because, we talk about careers, but, you want to do something that you love, like not that you're like, oh, I hate my job. I got to be here 9 to 5. I don't want to be here. But you want to do something that encompasses something that you're passionate about. So I think I would, really talk to them about, what are you passionate about? For me, I went to a HBCU because of the movie Drumline. Literally,
it's one of my favorite movies. Okay?
I saw Drumline. I said, "Yo, I gotta go to a HBCU. I want to be one of those dancers." Like, that was my exposure, right? And that's why I wanted to be there. I wanted to be in a sorority, which I did. I should have put that in my bio. But that was my exposure, and both my parents went to HBCU as well. But I just, again, it was something that I saw the dance. I'm passionate about dance. And that's the direction I wanted to go. And so I think it's important to kind of hone in on those gifts, whatever it is, whether you're good at writing, whether you're good at communicating. I don't think we should ignore that. And I think people ignore that because they think, well, there's no money there, right? Like, oh, well, if I do this, then I'm not like, going to make money. But I do think that it's so important to really stay true to that. So you don't regret it. You don't want to look back 10 years later and think, what am I even doing with my life? And it can be really difficult to change careers after you've been doing something for a long time.
Yeah, it goes back to that. You can't teach an old dog new tricks, right? It's just, people get comfortable like where they are.
Yeah.
And it's like once you get comfortable, like you are placed there. It's like what they say, it's like a tree planted by the water. Like them roots been growing there. They're just like not to let go.
Come on, scripture.
I mean, Rita, think about it. You ever seen the tree roots? I mean, like they are deep down under the water, and they just, that tree is just withered and just. I'm telling you, you get to a point in your life, you just feel like, you know what? Why bother it? Everything is going okay,
Yeah.
So, and Rita, that brings me back to you. What are some of the success stories, Rita, that women has come back, women and men, I guess, will come back and share with you after they have been mentored, and guided by you from being hidden in the big H.
The big H.
Well, I only talk to women. I don't think I've had anything with men.
Okay.
But what everybody's looking for, right, is the ring, like the actual, And so I've been doing this since I first got married in 2015, and I just one of the first people that I've come in contact with when I first started Hidden Found, she's actually getting married, I believe next month or something like that. And I remember when she first came to me and she slid in my DMs and she asked me a question, and just to see her, I remember it was like a market change in her life. Like I could just tell from her social media posts and things like that something is different about this girl. Like, you know what I'm saying? Something is totally different about her. I even reached out to her and said, something is different about, like, you're not the same person. And now to see the shift and not to see her engaged and getting married to just a wonderful man and God, it's just like, that's the ultimate, like, just smile on my face. And she wrote like a whole just long thing to me that was just so beautiful to see that. But I think one of the main things was usually a general consensus for people, especially women that go through my Hidden and Found boot camp, which is my mentorship program. What they say mainly is that it takes the focus off, but they came in here so desiring to be married and wanting this and wanting that, but the focus is now placed back where it needs to be, to make the main thing, which is God. You know what I'm saying? And it gets them back into that place of just being at peace with what he has for them. And I believe that once they get there, then they can be opened up to what he truly has. You know what I'm saying? That's the main consistency I always get. Like, I came in here, worried about getting married, XYZ, but I got back to my relationship with God. And when I say that's the best thing that I could ever hear, it's like, man, my relationship with God is flourishing. Yes, we want you to have that relationship too with the husband, but your relationship with God, that is the main thing. And that is always the main purpose behind anything that I do, is to guide people back to Christ, because he is the main thing. So that's really the main thing that people come to say.
That's one of the greatest things too that you say, when people have that relationship. One thing that I find for me is, I've, dated different types of men. You have more thug and you have more gentlemen, and you have the one in between, and, you got the Christian and the slightly Christian. And, I don't think I've had an over Christian yet, but
slightly Christian.
That's Easter Sunday. So so basically, though, one thing that I have truly found, though, if a man does not have any Christ in him, he is not convicted by anything. And so when he decides to cheat and be unfaithful and to step out and, beat you, I haven't had that part. So, but when he decides to, beat you and do whatever else, then you get to the point you're just like, God, what is he backed by? And so he's not convicted by anything. And so it makes it harder in a relationship. So that's enough to make a woman want to hide herself in the big age too, because she just tired of
Big
boys.
age.
I love that you said that. That's what I try to get people to see, because my husband, he loves me, he adores me, and things like that, obviously. And so, he wouldn't be unfaithful to me, obviously, because he loves me too. But I think one of the main things, the reasons that he treats me the way that he does in anything, is because he has God first, right? And so
He's
he always
grounded.
says, like, I don't do this to you because I have a father who's looking at the things that I do, you know what I'm saying? And he gave you to me. So why
Wow.
would I not want to honor that? And so when you're
Yeah.
not backed by a higher power, you know what I'm saying? You out here doing whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you say that. That's what I try to get people to see. It's like, if they don't have Christ in them, and they can't be submissive to him, and they can't be led by him, where they leading you to? Like, what are you doing? So that's the main thing.
Girl, leading them to the water.
And I have to say, it's not enough for them to say they go to church. Like, that's just not enough.
No,
that don't
it's
really
not
mean
enough.
anything.
It's not enough. When I found myself kind of like getting out of studying my word, at a point, I think we all go through it. We get to a point where we're so busy with everything else. So you just feel like, my morning prayers, my evening prayers, and my throughout the day, like, Lord, you might want to let her know I ain't the one, that prayer in the middle of the day at work, So I was staying connected, but I wasn't grounded, in my word. And I really feel like when I had really gotten away from my word, it was almost like God had put a brick wall around me that no guy wanted to date me, whatever. And it was just like, what is going on? Like, I know I'm not ugly. At least I ain't the root of the bunch, like I'm very clean. I'm smart,
clean.
I got good credit. I mean, so just checking. But sometimes we have to check ourselves, and we really, that is what pushes us to really go to God and be like, okay, God. And like you said earlier, Rita, okay, I did it my way. Now I need to do it your way, Lord. So I think that a lot of young women who will learn to be hidden will become a better person for herself, so that she can be better for somebody else. So Maygen, so what is a great success story for you in your helping people on their career journey?
Okay, so let me think. I think one of my favorite stories is this young lady who was working at a church, and she wanted to get in the corporate world. And so we used some of what she's doing to create a better resume so she could get attracted. And she ended up landing a job within project management. And then from there, she ended up getting a better job to a better job. And so now she's like this director at like a college university. And so just seeing the progression, because like Rita said, you start to look at people and you're like, okay, there's a shift, like something is changing. They're starting to understand their value. They're starting to understand their worth. They're starting to ask for the job or ask for the salary, and just flourishing in that. And so for me, it's not just getting one job, but it's the progression of how this leads to this, leads to this. And one thing I always say is that every single thing on your resume matters, like everything. So don't get a job and just be there for 2 months and then be like, oh, I don't really want to do that. Like everything matters. It's like your history. Like this is basically, it takes us recruiters 6 seconds to look at a resume. I don't know why I have a pen in my hand. 6 seconds. And so, it's so funny because you can relate it to relationships too. It's like that first impression, right? You want to make it good. You want it to be great, because that's your chance. You can't be like, oh, but nope. All they see is this paper. And so it's really about your professional brand. And then as you build that, you can go from there. I mean, there's certain companies, if you have them on your resume, you're guaranteed to get another job. Wow. And that's the kind of information people need to know, because that's what we look for, you know?
So we have just a few minutes left, ladies, under 10 minutes. And so I really want at this time, split these questions of Maygen, share your platform with people. When like what would a typical person reach out to you for? How would they reach out to you and how would you reach back to them? And just kind of give us like a little bit of insight of how you would help them along the journey of what they're looking for on their career path.
Yeah, so I stay on LinkedIn a lot. That's where I hang out. So you can find me on LinkedIn, Maygen King, Maygen, just like here, King. I'm also on Facebook, Maygen King, Instagram, Maygen King 32. And so if I would say reach out to me if you're in corporate America or you want to get into corporate America and you're looking to, like I said, build that professional brand. So updated resume, you need to get that resume up to date, or your LinkedIn needs to be updated, or you have a job interview and you need help with mock interviews or what questions or how to sell yourself in the interview and what kind of salary to be asking for. What is the market? What kind of job should I be applying for? Who should I be reaching out to make sure that my resume is in the right hands, right? And so I'll walk through people with job matching and how to find these HR people, how to find who the hiring manager is. And then once you get the interview, right, because that's what this is all about, is getting the interview, how to nail that and making sure that you get that job or the dream job that you wanted. And it all starts with vision, right? Writing down that vision, making it plain. And I like to tell people, again, it relates to relationships, because once I wrote down and made it clear what I'm looking for, hey, I want to work in pharma. Hey, I want to work as a scientist and I want to work in this city. When something else comes contrary to that, now like that's not it. You know what I mean? It's like the same thing with a relationship. You said that he, needed to be a lover of Christ. Well, he's not. And so I think that starting with vision is something that I naturally do when I talk to clients. Is let's visualize, what are you passionate about? What is your dream job and how can we get there?
Okay. And so Maygen, one more time, would you just slowly give your information for anyone that is like writing down information?
Yeah. So it's Maygen, Maygen King, King. So Maygen King on Facebook and LinkedIn, and Maygen King 32 on Instagram, Maygen.
Okay, 32. All right. And Miss Rita.
Yes, ma'am.
So how would people reach out to you? How do you use your platform, just summing up, and helping other young women? So how can people find you and all of your information?
I think I gave all my plugs earlier.
Yeah.
But I will reiterate it.
we have new people that
yes.
have joined.
So my Instagram is at Hidden and Found. So hidden and then the word and found. That's me on Instagram. And then on Facebook, same thing, facebook.com/hidden and found. And then if you want to get in contact with me via email, you can always email me. People email me all the time after reading my blogs or, if a feed or whatever, they ask questions. And I just love it. I welcome it. They want prayer. But my email is rita@rita-brooks.com. My website is www.rita-brooks.com. And so if you send me an email at rita@rita-brooks.com, I can, be in touch with you as well.
Okay. And then question, Maygen, does people have to be in Atlanta to get your services?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Nope.
Okay. So do you help people build resumes?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Okay.
That's really the start. I usually start with, let's get your resume together, and then there's a plethora of other services that come along with it. But yeah, absolutely, they could be anywhere.
And so starting someone on building a resume, what would you say the price line would be for them?
Usually it starts at $150 for a resume. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Listen, y'all, a resume at $150, that's not $1.50. That's not $15. That is $150. So let me tell y'all about 100. I had to scoot closer to the camera because I don't know if they really understand this. So listen. So let me tell y'all something. I have built resumes for people before. So now I really feel like I'm slacking, okay? And they've gotten jobs from me helping, okay? We know YouTube can do a lot. But let me tell you something.
YouTube University.
YouTube University, honey. But with a person like Maygen King behind the drive and the purpose and the passion to help you succeed, y'all notice like 90% of the video she had an ink pen. 90%. So she was I'm not sure if she was writing anything down. She was taking her own notes. She was like, yeah, I'm gonna come back to this later because I'm gonna have to check on this. She's human resources. So human resources, she was already contemplating her next move, like tomorrow. She's thinking about the office tomorrow. And she just stopped in on the dime tonight for us, okay? So let me go back to $150 resume. You better just go ahead and buy that dress, that business suit, that blazer. You gonna get the job, okay? $150 yes. With a person like that behind the pen.
Behind the pen.
And it really, and I have to say, it's really more than just a resume. Like, it's way more than that. It is pushing you, like we said, right? Driving you to your purpose. It's bringing out who you are and making sure that you are tunnel vision. So yeah.
Y'all see how she just politely put. This is the humble part where she comes in like, Lord, I want them to know that I'm really so. Y'all cut up.
Nah, you can't.
Okay. So Maygen, you have a book or anything coming out?
Is that prophetic?
Listen, I just seen author.
Wow.
So are you working on something?
Not right now, but I have a lot I could write about. I'm sure in the future I will definitely.
Behind the pen.
I am sure.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'm sure whatever you do, you're going to be great at it. I'm sure. So, ladies, it is 9:29 p.m. I am so excited about what I know. People had a good time on here tonight. We were getting some major comments on here. And y'all, it was one comment on here that says, "You three are up there giving melanin like Charlie's Angels." That was from Angela Jones. If you don't know what you're in for, the SheEO district out of Atlanta, please, you can go on Facebook and find the SheEO community district. It is led by our visionologist, Kelly Bowens herself. We have some beautiful women. We have a marketplace live every Friday with Jasmine. We have Hype It Up time on there with Keisha. We have the spiritual moments with D'Angela Jones. Like, it is so much to get on there and to take in. Okay. So that goes for everybody who's out there watching. We really appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight. It is 9:30. I am Mary, the mindset mentor, life coach, co-author, Broken Crayon Still Color. I have a mentoring program, Building Outstanding Ladies Daily. The launching will be April the 10th. And the workbook journal, I'll be working with I Am Woman Empowered Angela Lewis. I know she's going to beat me because I'm kind of behind schedule. And thank you so much. And my 9 to 5, I'm saving lives. I'm helping people every day. I'm, just technically, I work for the University of Michigan as a medical assistant. I'm waiting on my acceptance to come back for my nursing program to get my bachelor's. So, guys, when I tell you that life is busy, it's busy, but we have to take the time out to have fun. Within the SheEO district, I am the senior leader, the new directors member. So as you come in as a new member, you will be meeting me. I'll be the face behind the new members and getting you all engaged with the program. At this time, God, I ask that you will watch over these beautiful queens and each and every one of their endeavors and their journeys that they're going through. We ask that each and everything that they touch, Father God, that it will just manifest, that it will just be for every person to just intake. And we just know that everything will dwell upon each's heart and that we know we will all prosper. Lord, I ask that you would just touch each and every individual who tuned in tonight to our broadcast on the SheEO district, and just be mindful that each and every day is a day to be great and a day to be better than yesterday. So turn those frowns into a smile and have a wonderful week, everybody. Y'all have been awesome. This is Mary, the mindset mentor. I'm logging off. Good night.